Florida, the land of sunshine, oranges, and bizarre headlines. Florida man arrested after fighting alligator in a drive-thru. Florida woman marries a Ferris wheel. Florida man claims to be God, robs gas station with a sausage. At this point, Florida isn't just a place, it's a meme, a punchline, a parallel universe with its own laws of physics and logic. But what if I told you there's a reason behind all the madness? That Florida's weirdness isn't random at all, but the result of history, geography, psychology, and even legal loopholes. Today we're answering the question once and for all. Why is Florida so weird? Welcome back to Maps Explained, the channel that takes you down the rabbit hole of the strangest corners of our world. Today, we're unraveling the mystery of Florida, America's most eccentric state. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Florida produces so many absurd news stories, why Florida man became a meme, and how history, law, demographics, and even sunshine made this place a breeding ground for madness. And fair warning, once you know the truth, you'll never look at the Sunshine State the same way again. Let's start with the myth of Florida Man. Florida Man became a viral internet phenomenon in the early 2000s. The idea was simple. Outrageous crimes or stunts would always start with the same phrase, Florida Man. Florida man throws alligator through Wendy's drive-thru window. Florida man tries to evade arrest by cartwheeling away from cops. In fact, in 2013, the Twitter account Florida Man began cataloging these stories, branding Florida Man as the world's worst superhero. But the headlines are real, the arrests are real, and there's a reason so many of them come from Florida. Florida is weird, but it's also weirdly transparent. Thanks to the Sunshine Law passed in 1967, as well as the Public Records Act, Florida has some of the broadest public records laws in the entire country. That means almost everything gets released to the public quickly, from arrest records to body cam footage to 911 calls. In most states, the weirdest arrests never make the headlines because journalists have to dig through paperwork or submit formal requests. But in Florida, you can get that info almost instantly. So every time someone's caught streaking across an alligator farm at 2 a.m. with a bottle of rum, it's public domain. That means reporters love Florida. It's a goldmine of juicy stories, and unlike other states, they don't have to jump through hoops to find them. Florida was always weird, even before it was Florida. Back in the 16th century, Spanish explorers showed up. Their expeditions were challenged by battles with local Native Americans and the extreme conditions, heat, humidity, and swarms of mosquitoes. They continued to explore the region, though they were unable to master it because of the resistance from indigenous peoples and the harsh environment. In 1763, Britain tried colonizing parts of Florida. Then Spain invaded and captured West Florida from the British in 1781. In 1821, the Adams-Onis Treaty was ratified, and the U.S. took control of Florida. What did they find? A mosquito-ridden, alligator-infested swamp full of tropical diseases. Even the U.S. Army struggled with it. During the Second Seminole War, soldiers reported going crazy from the heat and isolation. Swamps swallowed entire platoons. Meanwhile, the Seminoles thrived in it. They resisted removal by the United States longer than any other native group, using the swamp as a weapon. The war lasted over 6 years. Florida is hot, really hot. Summers regularly push above 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius, and humidity levels hover near 100%. The heat can be relentless, especially for people who aren't used to it. There's actually a term for it, heat-induced aggression. Multiple studies have found that violent crime increases with temperature. When it's hot and sticky and your AC breaks, it doesn't take much for someone to go full Florida man. Add in hurricanes, tornadoes, and falling iguanas during cold snaps. Yes, seriously. And you've got a recipe for instability. Florida is famous for two very different kinds of people, senior citizens and drifters. On one hand, Florida has one of the highest populations of retirees in the country. Over 4.5 million residents are over the age of 65. That's 21% of the state. Seniors retire here because there's abundant sunshine, cheap housing, and no state income tax. On the other hand, Florida also attracts people looking to vanish. It has 1,350 miles of coastline, more than any state besides Alaska. Its cities grew fast and chaotically, which means there are plenty of places to blend in, especially in unincorporated areas with little oversight. It's the perfect combo for chaos. A huge elderly population driving Cadillacs in the left lane, mixed with people escaping debt, criminal charges, or just reality. Now throw in spring break, Miami nightlife, and decades of smuggling. Florida is a gateway state, close to Latin America, the Caribbean, and the Gulf. During the 1980s, Miami was a hotbed for smuggling in the party substance of choice for Americans. And even today, Florida's party culture is intense. Cities like Miami, Tampa, and Daytona Beach are built for 24/7 fun, and that means more chances for things to go sideways. You've got tourists who think the rules don't apply, college kids looking to go viral, and locals used to the madness. The result is headlines that sound like movie plots. Here's the truth. Florida is weird because it lets itself be weird. Florida is a place of extremes. It's where nature meets nightlife, where retirees meet rebels, and where stories that could never happen anywhere else happen every single day. The laws expose the chaos. The geography attracts the wild. The history invites the misfits. And the media turns it all into entertainment. It's not that Floridians are crazier than the rest of us. It's that Florida's the one place in America where crazy can't hide. So the next time you see a headline like "Florida man fights off iguana with pool noodle," remember, it's not just a punchline. It's the most American place in America. If you love this deep dive into America's weirdest state, subscribe for more mysteries, history, and stories behind the headlines. Drop your wildest Florida experience in the comments. And until next time, stay weird.